Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Alexandra here. How's everybody doing? Recently got my hair done. I tried to film this video that day actually. That was last week when I got my hair done. I was feeling not so motivated that day. I tried to film 2 videos that day and I was just like not happy with my hair and my face that day. So did not continue filming those and I scrapped what I had. So here we are trying again a week later. My hair, I dyed it blonde again. I've been doing the platinum look for a really long time. Here comes Gigi. You can hear her pitter pats. But yeah, I've been doing the platinum bleach blonde for like quite a few years at this point. I almost didn't. I almost decided to do something a little bit different, a lot of bit different, and I didn't at the last moment. Maybe next time though, because then I was like filled with a little bit of regrets when I left the salon. And I'm really just thinking it's like the cut that I don't like about my hair. I don't know. We're almost there. We're almost there. But every time I go there, I feel like she's cutting more off this way when I want more off this way, if that makes sense. I still feel like it's too bulky up here and I want it to be a little bit more mullet-ish, shag-ish, 80-ish. Does that make sense? You know, we're almost there though. Like I think cutting the bangs again and like whatever was a good idea. Do you think that my hair, she cut off a lot in the length this time? I told her not to touch the length and I feel like she cut off like 2 inches, but that's just me having a moment. So here we are. That's not what this video is about. It is about all my products with Pan. I do this update every year on my channel. This year it's a little bit late. Typically it's in February. It's now March 19th when I'm filming this. So let's just get into all the pans or products with Pan in my collection. Spoiler, last year's video, I had 26 pans and I predicted I was gonna have like 10 more additional pans for this year's update. Didn't happen, so there's that. But I do have 29 pans if I counted correctly here to talk about. So there was a little bit of a jump, not a lot, and that's okay. So let's just get into it. Going to be giving you a spoiler here for my Pan That palette for 2026. It is my Physicians Formula All-Star palette for you. I have 3 pans in here. 2 of them were already there when I started this project this year back in January. So those won't be spoilers. The progress will be, but not the actual pan. I have a new pan in here to talk about. A pan on my blush, the setting powder, and now the highlighter. 3 pans for this palette, which is great. The goal, of course, for the project is to hit pan on all of the shades. I don't love this formula. It's not a great formula, but there's 3 pans. My Morphe 39L Hit the Lights palette. This is a big one. The packaging sucks. It's also made out of cardboard and the quality of the shadows or shades or product is also not great. This is primarily like a play palette. Not a lot of use considering how many pans are in this palette, but I think there's 4 in here to talk about. So you can't really see this really grubby highlighter, this yellow, my little pressed silver, and this little peachy nude-ish color. Honestly, I don't think I dipped into this palette once last year. So I don't know. The formula kind of sucks and I don't even know how I would use this in the future. Probably just as like a play palette, but like I said, I'm not really doing much with that. So it's fine. I would not recommend this palette either. A little Z palette for you guys. It's going to be really difficult to show because this shade is broken up here, but we're talking about this little highlighter shade or shimmery pinky iridescent shade. I think it's from Touch of Glam Beauty. There's quite a bit of pan on there. It was in a project a few years ago and it was nice as a highlighter. I have not used it since. This was like a surprise pan last year in a natural pan that I hit. It wasn't a project the year prior, but I hit pan on it naturally last year, just using it on its own. This is my Hoola Benefit Bronzer, a little mini guy, and there is a little shiny pan for you guys to see. This is my only single bronzer that I have in my collection, so at some point I would love to pan this. Another extremely messy palette is my Cover FX palette. This was last year's Pan That palette. I can link the intro video to that if you want to watch me pan it or hit pans on it. I was able to hit pan on 4 out of the 6 last year. So it's super messy because one of them is like breaking. I hit pan, I have pan, which is broken into that shadow, the bronzer, the setting powder, the 2 highlighters on the bottom for you guys, and then another brightener, but it's definitely like a highlighter shade. Super messy looking, super inconvenient. I will not be able to travel with this. Not that I travel a ton. I'm really happy with the progress on this. I did pretty good last year, but I would have loved to have hit pan on the blush and the bronzer. It didn't happen, but maybe in the future I'm going to like incorporate those 2 remaining products or shades, shadows, products, whatever you want to call them, in a project, but it's not going to be this year. My ColourPop Ooh La La palette, I have 3 in this palette. Pan here, and pan on, yeah, these 2, the pressed glitter situation and the matte, and a shimmer. So 3 pans. This is a doozy. It took me like over 100 uses to hit pan on that matte shade, FYI, and I was using it as a blush last year. That's why the blush in my Cover FX palette doesn't have pan, because I used so much of my focus on this shade last year. If you have been with me for a long time, you know that I have been trying to pan all 3 of my Urban Naked Basics palettes. One of them I finished last year, which you will see if you watch the update of last year for this video. So that's good. One of them is gone. I only have 2 remaining palettes. This is one of them, my Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basics. It's old, and yeah. So it has been through it. These 3 shades are completed, and then these 3 shades here have pan on them. The mattes, which these are all remainder matte shades, are tough AF. Do not try to pan Urban Decay Naked palettes. They are not for the weak. This shade was a primary shade in, a focus shade in one of my projects last year. I was really close to hitting pan. It just didn't happen. And honestly, I haven't touched it since that project ended, and I have no desire to. So, but there's some really great pans in this palette. I really need to like maybe focus again on it, but I can't this year. My other Naked Urban Decay Basics, this is a mini guy. This was like the soft touch packaging, so it's really grubby. It's no longer soft or sticky, because it does go through that sticky phase when they start to break down. I only have 2 shades in here left. So the black, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. At some point, maybe I'll get to it as a liner shade. I don't know. This is super disappointing. I said that I wanted to complete it last year. It didn't happen. I'd be lying. And then there are 2 other shades. I don't have it here with me. Let me go get it. And this little e.l.f. putty primer component. And I crushed them up a long time ago and made them like into a contour shade. It's hard for you guys to probably see how much is left. A lot. I don't contour every day. I probably should. This is where I'm at with those. I really would like to finish up this one this year. I think I really just need to like make that a mission, because this packaging is so gross and it's so old, and I need to just like get rid of it. So I don't know. I don't know about that. It's kind of like my shame palette to show you. This is the packaging for my 3-second brow. It's no longer in there. It has been moved to the other Luminous Putty Primer e.l.f. little component. It broke a long time ago when I was traveling. There was a lot of pan on it, and it was super fun to see the pan grow, but it broke. I didn't repress it. Probably should have, because it would have been more fun to watch. But that's what is left of it, which is a lot. I only use this in my brows. I use it in my brows every time I wear my makeup. That's like literally every day. It's gonna take me like 5 years to complete this. The Naked Cosmetics single eyeshadow here. It's kind of messy. There's quite a bit of pan on it, but it's like a super huge eyeshadow. I have not honestly touched it since it was in the project a couple of years ago now, a year and a half ago. So there's that. My Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. Love this palette. There is 1 pan. Very crumbly formula though, very soft. So it's gonna be difficult to show you, but you can just see it from there. That is in Momentum right there. Really nice nudish shade. I have it on my lid today all over. Super nice. I really like it. I really wish I could like focus on this palette more. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, I don't know. But I really like that Momentum shade. I could see me finishing that at some point. And then I have 5 single highlighters to talk about with you guys. So that's really great because if you've been watching, I'll link my makeup inventory for you guys. Highlighters are a bit of a problem category for me. I haven't panned a single highlighter in a long time, quite a few years. And I have so many shades of like so many single highlighters in my collection that I just don't use because there's so many and so many in palettes. But the fact that I have 5 here that have pan on them is really great. So let's talk about it. I have 3 by Kaleidos. They're the only 3 that I have by Kaleidos. I got rid of my other ones a few years ago because they just weren't shades that I was ever going to use, and I had way too many highlighters. This is a little yellow one in Space Age. There's a little pan. These are small and quite shallow highlighters. So if I really wanted, in theory, I think I could pan 1 a year if I really focused on it. Probably won't. This one's broken. This is in Ray Rider. This is the orange one. Also a fun shade. Oh my gosh, the sleeve here is not cooperating. So quite a bit of pan on the orange one. I really like the orange. Again, I feel like I could definitely pan this in a year if I wanted, but won't be anytime soon. And then Star Surfer, which is a pink one. So there's a nice pan on that as well. So those 3, and then I have another pink highlighter by Jeffree Star, which is massive. This is in Princess Cut, if I can open it. Has a pretty big pan though. I have not used this in a really long time. So there has been no additional use, but I really did enjoy it when I first got it, which was several years ago. Honestly, like 4 or 5 years ago was probably the last time I touched this product, and that is a shame. I need to break this out again at some point. I am doing a rolling usage project pan for my highlighters just to try to like use all of them in 1 year at least 10 times. I'm gonna link that intro video for you guys as well. This is my last highlighter with pan on it, Makeup by Mario, and it is in soft, it's a soft glow highlighter in Opal. This is so nice. This is probably one of my favorite highlighters, and I haven't used it in a minute. Really pretty, super soft, like the title or the name of the product says. This one, I do think I could probably pan this in a year as well. It's just very soft and not a huge highlighter. So this is also a contender in the future. And when I say future, I mean like probably in the next 5 years, if I'm being honest. Those are all my products with pan. Feeling good about those. So there's 29 if I counted correctly. I think next year, because I'm still doing a Pan That palette this year, I do think there's a possibility for that number to go up again. And the fact that I'm still like project panning things, possible, but I do think that it won't be a big jump like a couple of years ago. I'm just not wearing makeup all the time. I'm not panning or doing any project panning of eyeshadows this year. That's not happening. My Pan That palette is a face palette, so like you saw, there's already 3 pans in that and 2 of them were for last year. So I don't think, if I'm gonna predict honestly, that I'm gonna have that many more pans next year. And I really kind of wanna see some of these get used up. So we'll see. The collection as a whole is still getting quite a bit of use, and I'm grateful for that. Not wasting all my money for nothing. But yeah. Anyways, that is everything for my update with products with pan for you. Let me know if you guys have panned any of these similar products or same products, and I will talk to you guys next one. Bye.